Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, I'm going to present about factors influencing high crime rate in Malaysia, which made by me, Nurul Akhtar Minta Abdul Rahman, 01DAT21F1035, and my team, Nur Farahin binti Ahmad Syafi'i, 01DAT21F1046. What is crime? In ordinary language, a crime is an unlawful act punishable by a state of other authority. The term crime does not, in modern criminal law, have any simple universally accepted definition. Those statutory definitions have been provided for certain purposes. 6 factors influencing high crime rate in Malaysia. First, parental relations. Click-list ideas on sociopathy were adapted in the 1980s to describe a cycle of violence or pattern found in family histories. A cycle of violence is where people who grow up with abuse or antisocial behavior in the home will be much more likely to mistreat their own children, so in turn will often follow the same pattern. Children who are neglected or abused are more likely to commit crimes later in life than others. Similarly, sexual abuse in childhood often leads these victims to become sexual predators as adults. Many inmates on death row have histories of some kind of severe abuse. The neglect and abuse of children often progresses through several generations. The cycle of abuse, crime, and sociopathy keeps repeating itself. Second, heredity and brain activity. Searching for the origins of antisocial personality disorders and their influence over crime led to studies of twins and adopted children in the 1980s. Identical twins have the exact same genetic makeup. Researchers found that identical twins were twice as likely to have similar criminal behavior than fraternal twins who have similar but not identical genes. Just like any two siblings, other research indicated that adopted children had greater similarities of crime rates to their biological parents than to their adoptive parents. These studies suggested a genetic basis for some criminal behavior. With new advances in medical technology, the search for biological causes of criminal behavior became more sophisticated. In 1986, psychologist Robert have identified a connection between certain brain activity and antisocial behavior. He found that criminals experience less brain reaction to dangerous situations than most people. Such a brain function, he believed, could lead to greater risk-taking in life, which some criminals not fearing punishment as much as others. And the last one is hormones. Hormones are bodily substances that affect how organs in the body function. Researchers also looked at the relationship between hormones such as testosterone and cortisol and criminal behavior. Testosterone is a sex hormone produced by male sexual organs that cause development of masculine body trait. Cortisol is a hormone produced by adrenal glands located next to the kidneys that affects how quickly food is processed by the digestive system. Higher cortisol level leads to more glucose to the brain for greater energy, such as in times of stress and danger. Animal studies showed a strong link between high levels of testosterone and aggressive behavior. Testosterone measurements in prison populations also showed relatively high levels in the inmates as compared to the US adult male population in general. That's all for me, and the rest I will leave to my team, Nur Farahin.
Thank you so much, Ahta. So now I shall move on to the next main point, which is peer influence. So a person's peer group strongly influences a decision to commit crime. For example, young boys and girls who do not fit into expected standards of academic achievement or participate in sports or social programs can sometimes become lost in the competition. Children of families who cannot afford adequate clothing or school supplies can also fall into the same trap. Researchers believe these youth may abandon, abandon schoolmates in favor of criminal gangs since membership in a gang earns respect and status in a different manner In gangs, antisocial behavior and criminal activity earns respect and strict credibility. Like society in general, criminal gangs are usually focused on material gain. Gangs, however, resort to extortion, fraud, and theft is a means of achieving it. The fear of young people, mostly boys, joining gangs influenced many government projects in the last half of the 20th century, including President Lyndon Johnson's and war on crime programs. So the next one is discouraging choice of crime. So the purpose of punishment is to discourage a person from committing a crime. Punishment is supposed to make criminal behavior less attractive and more risky. Imprisonment and loss of income is a major hardship to many people. Another way of influencing choice is to make crime more difficult or to reduce the opportunities. This can be as simple as better lighting, locking bars on auto steering wheels, the presence of guard dogs, or high technology improvements such as security system and photograph on credit cards. The last one is poor education. Conforming to Merton's earlier sociological theories, a survey of inmates in state prison in the late 1990s showed very low education levels. Many could not read or write above elementary school levels, if at all. The most common crimes committed by these inmates were robbery, burglary, automobile theft, drug trafficking, and shoplifting. Because of their poor educational background, their employment historically consists of mostly low-wage jobs with frequent periods of unemployment, employment at the minimum wage of below living wage does not help deter criminal activity. Even with the government, social services such as public housing, food stamps, and medical care, the income of minimum wage households still falls short of providing basic needs. People must take a choice between continuing long-term low income and prospect of profitable crime, gaining further education. Of course, it's another option, but classes can be expensive and time-consuming. While education can provide the chance to get a better job, it does not always overcome the effect of abuse, poverty, or other limiting factors. So all we can conclude from this topic is illegal behavior has occurred in all civilization and efforts to enforce, punish, or otherwise correct criminal behavior have failed. While some have decided that crime is a necessary evil in human society and have attempted to explain its presence by pointing its role in societal progress, others believe that the root of crime lies in human nature and human relationship issues that have plagued mankind from the dawn of time. Correcting these issues would effectively eliminate the source of crime and result in a world where everyone should reach their full potential as individual and build satisfying, harmonious, and relationship with others. So with that, we end our presentation. Thank you. We would be happy to answer any question. Thank you so much for your question. Once again, thank you for thank you for spending your time and lending me your ears. And it has been a great honor and pleasure to us to be here. Thank you.